Hey everybody, it's Taylor with Boydston Grove, and today we're going to take an old piece of a pallet and make some really cool projects that you can batch out to sell. And we're going to try out our brand new sander by Sainsmart. Let's get into it.
I can't wait.
This video is sponsored by Sainsmart. Power to the makers. Now, our first project was inspired by Aaron over at Who's the Boss. I figured both of these projects would not only make really nice gifts for my wife, but also be easy projects that you could batch out for craft sales and markets. These projects also give me a good opportunity to break in my new bench sander by Sainsmart. So let's get started. I picked up this little vase from Walmart for just under $2. I needed to find a Forstner bit that would be as close to the diameter of the vase as possible. It seems like an 1 3/4 inch bit would be perfect, but all I have is this 2-inch bit, so it's gonna have to do for now. Since my wife deserves the very best, I grabbed this piece of a pallet out of the scrap pile. This is one of the middle parts of the pallet. I guess you would call it a strut or a brace. I don't know, I'm not a palletologist. I cut it down to length on the miter saw and managed to get 2 decent sized pieces. Now, if you don't have an old piece of a pallet to use, you can always glue up a couple 2x4s to get the thickness that you need. Then it was over to the new sander. This benchtop sander by Sainsmart is pretty standard overall, but there's one feature that I thought was really cool, and that is the variable speed control. I like that you can have complete control over the speed with no preset adjustments, so I can dial it into exactly how I want it. This sander also features a port to connect dust collection, and the little deck easily unscrews and can be attached to the belt sander. My first impression was that there is a lot of blue plastic, but the sander housing itself is actually metal. It runs nice and smooth with a lot less vibration than my central machinery sander. Overall, the power output is on par with my sander and most other small bench sanders. If you want to check out more details on this sander, I'll leave links in the description below. Once I had the blocks smoothed down and the corners rounded, I marked one of them with a random pattern of different sized circles. I started by drilling pilot holes for each circle and then drilled them out with various sizes of Forstner bits. I clamped the block upright on the drill press and started working through it with the 2-inch Forstner bit. This was quite the chore and took a good amount of time to work all the way down. I drilled a pilot hole in the bottom and then used a 1.5 inch Forstner bit to drill into the bottom until I had about a 1/4 inch material left between the 2-inch hole and the 1.5 inch hole. Then I used my router to put a chamfer around the bottom of the vase, and as you can see, suffered quite a bit of blowout.
Oh, that's not good.
But with a little super glue to glue the chips back and some more sanding, it's practically unnoticeable.
Just disappeared into nothing.
Before moving on, I decided to start on the second project. I started by putting a large chamfer around what will be the bottom of the second block of wood. Then I use the table saw to resaw it and make it a little less bulky. I'm turning this into a tea light candle holder, so I measured out 3 spots for the candles and drilled out the spots with an 1.5 inch Forstner bit. After a little bit more sanding, I used Odie's oil for finish on both pieces. I pulled a little electric tea light out of an old piece of decor and hot glued it in the bottom of the base. You can also get these little electric tea light candles from Amazon. I'll leave a link to some in the description below. I added some little clear feet to the bottom of the tea light holder to keep it from sliding around. Alright, well there you go. Just a couple quick and easy projects that you can batch out for your next market or craft sale. And because I use scrap pallet wood, the only thing I had to pay for was the little vase and the tea light candles. Most of this stuff you can get at a Dollar Tree, and like I said, the vase I think I paid just under $2 for it at Walmart. Now if you don't want to take the time to put the little light on the vase, then it'll look just fine the way it is. Actually, my wife saw it while I was about halfway through and she loved it just as is. Now I could have put in the effort to get around the nail holes, but actually I kind of like them, especially with the little black around them. It just gives them some age and it gives each piece a little bit of a story. Now you saw me struggling pretty hard with these two pieces because this is solid oak. I just happened to get a pallet that had oak pieces on it, but if you used pine or a softer wood, these projects would go much quicker and much easier. As far as the sander goes, let me just be brutally honest. There are some features about the sander that I absolutely love. I love that it has dust collection. I love that you can move the little bench up to the top to the belt sander. I also love that it has speed control on it. These are just really cool things that I haven't had the chance to have on a sander before. As far as strength goes, this is pretty much on par with the old sander that I have, which is going to be pretty much status quo for most of these smaller sanders that are made for hobbyists. Now Sainsmart makes all kinds of products, so if you're interested in looking at more details on this sander or any of the other deals or products they have, just hit the links below. A big shout out and thank you to Sainsmart for sponsoring us by sending us this sander. I hope you all enjoyed these projects today. Thank you very much for watching. Be safe and have a great day.